Hey, I'm Greaser. I'm here to talk to you today about the Help line of products. Now, you've probably noticed a section in your auto parts store that isn't quite like the others, and that's the Help aisle. The Help shelves are packed full of parts for general mechanical repairs and fixes for common problems, like broken door handles, rusted out exhaust hardware, and worn bushings, to name a few examples. Most Help parts are pretty DIY friendly, and your customers shouldn't have too much trouble installing them with basic tools and a little common sense. Now, the Help brand launched in 1981 with some small parts that were then quite hard to find except from the dealership, like door and window crank handles. Since then, the automotive aftermarket has grown dramatically, so these items are pretty easy to find today. But you might hear some people still use the phrase hard to find to describe the wide mix of products in the Help line. Help was the signature line from Motormite Manufacturing until Dorman and Motormite merged in the 90s, so you might even hear folks of a certain age still call these products Motormite. Today, you'll be able to locate them by the Dorman logo up at the top of the packaging and the Help logo at the bottom. You'll probably spend some time restocking the Help planogram, so it's a good idea to take a look around and familiarize yourself with the different kinds of parts there. That way, you'll know right where to direct customers when they come in with a problem that a Help part can quickly solve. And if you're new to the auto parts world and aren't sure what a planogram or POG is, it's simply an assortment of merchandise for sale. And the better you know these parts, the easier it will be to make recommendations and sales at the counter. Help parts are the backbone of your store's offerings for walk-in customers who need quick fixes for their vehicles, so think of Help as the useful stuff section. A lot of Help parts are replacements or repairs for things that customers interact with all the time, like remote key fobs, handles, and buttons. Parts like these are frequently used, worn out, damaged, or lost in everyday driving and maintenance, and the planogram is full of solutions for these common issues. To guide the customer to the correct part, many Help parts have fitment information right on the package, so be sure to check that when customers aren't sure which parts are right for their vehicles. Other Help items are generic replacement parts that are used on all kinds of applications, like springs, washers, studs, snap rings, cotter pins, and other essentials. Kits with larger varieties of hardware are also found in this section. You'll see quite a few universal parts in the mix too, which are useful for folks driving older vehicles. For example, there aren't many cars on the road still using carburetors, but the Help replacement choke cable continues to be a strong seller. You can also expect customers to use Help parts like that choke cable to fix things beyond the automotive world. Help parts find their way into tractors, lawn equipment, trailers, and all kinds of DIY mechanical projects. So let's talk about some Help products you should know about. Missing fluid reservoir caps are a very common problem since they are frequently removed and replaced. The Help aisle has a sizable selection of replacement caps for all kinds of applications: coolant reservoirs, washer fluid tanks, and so on. A customer buying a cap may have lost some of the fluid that the cap was supposed to contain, so ask if they'll need any replacement fluid to top up the system. You'll find replacement dipsticks too, since they are easily mangled or misplaced. While we're talking fluids, the Help section is also the place to check for various kinds of connectors, lines, tees, hoses, and fittings. Now, because many of these parts are installed by DIY customers, don't forget to recommend tools to help with installation. Your store's tool selection should cover the basics for most Help part installations. Screwdrivers, wrenches, sockets, and multimeters are found in many home garages, but there are lots of specialty tools that your customer would love to buy if only they knew about them. Examples include hose clamp pliers, trim removal tools, and penetrating fluid for rusty hardware. Even basics like gloves, lights, shop towels, and drain pans can make the difference between success and messy misery. Same goes for fluids. If a customer is buying parts to repair a leaking heater hose tee, you can bet that your customer will be needing some coolant. A master cylinder bleed kit pairs nicely with some fresh brake fluid. And anybody buying a dipstick will probably be looking for some oil too. While a full breakdown of all the Help parts would be beyond the scope of this video, you should have a better understanding of the kinds of parts that make up the Help brand. One of the best ways to familiarize yourself with some of these parts and what they fit is by doing what you need to do in your daily course of duties at the store already: putting up stock. Fronting and facing totes of Help parts in the aisle is a great way to familiarize yourself with the range. The parts have their name and their applications right on the packaging, and the frequency of their need to be restocked is directly correlated to how problematic the parts and the cars are. Stocking shelves in this instance can be very educational. And at the counter, you'll quickly get a sense of what people are buying to fix their rides, and before long, you'll know exactly what to recommend for all kinds of everyday annoyances and breakdowns. The tools and other supplies required to install many of these parts can be found in your store too, so you shouldn't have much trouble setting your customer up for success. And remember, if you need any help before, during, or after the sale, our Dorman technical support team is always handy to help. Give them a ring at 866-933-2911. Thanks for taking a little time to brush up on help products. We hope it helps you and your customers. I'm Greaser, and I'll see you next time.